Hello everybody, my name is ingeniousclown, and do you remember a little over a year ago at the Game Developers Conference in 2015, Relogic launched this website and this trailer for Terraria Otherworld? I remember it well, and I've been patiently waiting for this game to come out ever since I heard about it, because it looks absolutely incredible and it adds so much to the formula of a game that I already love. So I mean, what's not to love? But the thing is, I haven't heard anything from these guys since this website launched. I haven't heard anything since Game Developers Conference 2015 when they launched this trailer. And if you're like me and don't regularly visit the Relogic forums and check on the progress for Terraria Otherworld, which I've come to understand they've been teasing some spoilers as the development progresses, but that stopped in December of 2015. So even if you're a part of that camp, you may be wondering, what happened to the game? Is it still happening? Did they get chased away by Starbound? Well, as it turns out, no. Luckily, that is not the case. We're still gonna get Terraria Otherworld, but here's the thing. They just made a post on their own forums talking about where they've been and what's been happening and why there hasn't been any updates. So here's what they say. To keep it short and simple, at the beginning of this year, we undertook a full in-depth review of the project versus our standards, expectations, and visions for the game. It was pretty clear to us at the time that Otherworld needed quite a bit of work, and even a good bit of rework, in a number of areas in order to hit that mark. We then spent some time in detailed discussion among ourselves and also with Engine Software in regards to how best to get things to where they need to be. We then made a list of requested reforms and changes and such. As a part of this, the project team at Engine now has a new lead designer and art lead, along with other changes made to better align to our vision for the game. On top of that, our two teams have laid out clearly what needs to be done and are pushing forward, executing towards that roadmap to deliver the game we expect, and our fans deserve, as soon as possible. Of course, we have to stress that our philosophy of the game being ready when it's ready will not be compromised here. We feel it is our promise to each of you, and we will stick to it. They then go on to say that they're reworking a number of elements to bring more quote-unquote Terraria-ness to Otherworld. Because I'm guessing that what they had just didn't quite feel true to the original game. And it's not hard to see where that might come from. Like if you're just looking at the trailer, which I showed at the beginning of this video, what they have is it looks a lot more like an RPG, you know? It looks a hell of a lot more like an RPG. While that's great and all, and while that's perfectly fine, I guess what they had just didn't feel true enough to the original game. They also show off a couple of screenshots, one of a home base that is covered in like what looks to be a purity dome. I'm coining that name now. A purity dome around a corrupted area to keep them safe, I guess. Kind of like a shield of sorts. And it looks like it's emanating from the rock right there. And then another screenshot of this dude's weapon leveling up. That sounds awesome to me. Leveling up weapons? No more are you just gonna, oh, this weapon's so much better. I'm gonna dump my old one, never think about it again, and use this new one. No. No more of that. Now we have leveled up weapons. We can like make our weapons as strong as we want them to be. We can more easily customize what we want. Like if I want a flame sword, that could be awesome. Maybe I'll be able to get a flame sword that'll be awesome. Look, I don't know. I'm just basing off the screenshots right here. If that's not the case, that'll be fine too. I mean, it's Terraria. I love the first one. I'm probably gonna love this one. I mean, frankly, I respect the developers for not wanting to sacrifice their the game's ready when it's ready mantra, because there's way too many developers these days that are just like, here, have our prototype that probably shouldn't be fit for human consumption, and we only built as a test bed for our ideas. No, none of that. If we get any of that from these guys, I will be really, really shocked. But I really don't think we're gonna get something like that. I'll be ready to play it when it's ready to play. It's actually been a couple of years since I booted up the original Terraria and played around in it, and even since then, there have been so many updates. There's so many new things. They've streamlined some systems. They've made the graphics a little better. They've made things more interesting all around. They've added more biomes. They've added more areas. They've added more creatures, more monsters, more weapons, more magic, more everything. They also have a bunch of new functionality with the inventory and the housing system, so you can like see who has what house and if the house is even viable for living. Like, they've added all these things that make the game better and more fun to play with like all of these quality of life updates. And then on the other hand, you have like all these other games that have been coming out that are in this genre of the 2D side-scrolling action sandbox, like Terraria likes to call itself. You have Crea, you have Planet Centauri, you have Starbound, and you have Dig or Die, and I mean, that's just a small handful of the massive number of titles in this genre that are coming out. And each one of them brings something new to the table that I'm hoping Terraria Otherworld will then take a look at and be like, oh hey, this was a good idea, let's go ahead and implement this, along with their own ideas to make it more fun and more engaging and a little less tedious, because let's be honest here, as fun as these games are, they can get kind of tedious with having to dig through things and when you're in that area of like, I've explored everything that I have around me that I'm capable of taking on, so now I need to dig horizontally until I find maybe another cave to open up and then explore, so I don't have to spend my life digging to the center of the earth. Like, I think that's one of the big problems with Terraria, as I see it, like coming back to it now, today, that you're limited to digging one block at a time and the reach is fairly close to your body, whereas in something like Crea, as you work more at digging, you get better at digging, which gives you a larger radius, a larger block to dig from, so you could dig like a 3x3 or 4x4 square to be much more efficient and go through the world much quicker. And your pickaxe speed and mining speed in general can be increased somewhat independently of the pickaxe that you're using. And like, these are just small quality of life things that make the gameplay much more engaging because you're spending less time just digging through garbage trying to get what you need, and then more time getting what you actually need and getting what you want and getting closer and closer to that goal. So yeah, if Otherworld starts bringing in stuff like that, it'll be really exciting. Like, another thing that I'm super excited for about this game is the whole tower defense aspect that they're adding to it, and it looks like they're adding like 1 million different weapons, and like all of these turrets that they have like multiple different weapons on them. Like, I'm seeing like a chain gun and then like a crystal gun and then looks like a wooden platform on top of some of them. Like, it looks like there's so much ridiculous amounts of customization that can be had in this game, and I'm pretty stoked for it. They say that they don't have a date to give us and their focus is on getting the game done right first and foremost. And like I said earlier, I respect that, and I love that they're doing that in this age of selling prototypes. I like that they're not going to go that route. I mean, they might release early access like Starbound did, but even if they do, like, they're promising us that even if they release an early access, it will be worthy of the Terraria name. And I guess that's all we can really ask for as lovers of the game, players of the game, people who enjoy the game. That's all that we can really ask for, is that the game's fun and playable. So yeah, even if I have to wait a year, or 2 years, or even 3 years, I'm sure it'll be worth the wait. I'll probably put just as many hours into Otherworld as I did the original game, and I won't regret a single moment of it. I'll probably end up putting just as many hours into the new game as I did in the old game, if not more, and I will be waiting patiently for that time to come. I'm interested to hear what new feature or mechanic you're most excited about in the comment section below, or if you hate the new art style or the game in general, let me know. There's definitely a lot that's new to take in. Again, my name is ingeniousclown, and if you liked the video, please do hit that like button, and if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Twitter @ingeniousclown, and be sure to subscribe for more awesome content here in the future, and I will see you next time.